Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with some more info on the Crusader, Aries, Ion and Inferno. The Crusader Aries is the latest concept heavy fighter for Star Citizen and available from $195. There are two variants that both focus on their large size 7 guns, which are different between each of the ships, and basically it's just a gun with a ship attached. The Ion has the slow-firing laser cannon with additional systems to help support that setup. So it's got an additional cooler, battery, shield, and power plant. The Inferno is a fast-firing ballistic Gatling gun version. Doesn't have the extra components, but it does have additional room for more ammo and extra armor. So it is a more armored ship. Where is the Aries in the ship pipeline currently? So the Aries is currently concept complete, but is not in active development. It will be going to the roadmap at some point once they work out exactly where it's going to release, or at least somewhere they've got it in mind to be released. Devs seem to be looking at making flyable various Crusader ships in the latter half of 2020, so it's possible we could see it then. The current loaner ship for both Aries models is the Hurricane. So what's the operating range of the Aries? So the Aries is a single-seat fighter with no interior. Its operating range is similar to that of the Hornet. Also, when you're servicing the ship, the components are on the outside of the ship for the most part. And you'd have to either go to a station, get them serviced, or EVA out and service them yourself. How fast, nimble, or agile is the Aries compared to other dogfighters, or the Sabre, Hornet, and Vanguard? Unlike other Crusader ships, the Aries is not nimble for its size, due to significant compensation required to carry the size 7 weapon. As a result, the handling characteristics are closer to a Vanguard or Freelancer than a Sabre or Hornet. It's not got the agility of a dogfighter, basically, although it is of a similar size. It's a heavy fighter. What are the batteries mentioned in the Aries brochure? What are batteries going to be in the game? So batteries are components that most ships will feature in the future. Specifically, these function like real-world batteries and can charge up and be used like a power plant, but when the power plant is offline, for both redundancy and lower signature performance. So you can use your batteries if you were trying to be more stealthy. They will be functional in a future patch. What ships does the Aries fit on or in? CIG have stated that the Javelin is currently the only capital ship that could accommodate the Aries based on its current dimensions. However, it could also land on the pads of the Kraken, and I believe that it could land in the bay of the Endeavour hangar module. It's too wide to fit in the Idris, Polaris, and 890 jump, apparently, but we'll have to wait until it's in our hands to see if it can fit in anything else beyond that. What benefits does the size 7 cannon give you over multiple smaller weapons with the same DPS? Well, larger weapons do more than just higher damage or DPS. They tend to have higher penetration rates as well. When physicalized damage comes in, this is going to be important. And the weapons themselves are more durable, with enhanced resistance to distortion and damage. As a result, the DPS of a single size 7 may appear on paper to be equal to multiple smaller weapons. However, the size 7 weapon has a long range and good penetration. We're going to have the ability to customize our ships a lot more when we have physicalized components and sub-components. Roughly, CIG said that if they released the weapon tomorrow, the size 7 weapons, they would have damage over 2400 per second and a range of over 8 kilometers. Though I would expect the DPS of the Inferno to be higher, but with shorter range, but the Ion to have longer range and potentially lower DPS, but more of a snipper. They're numbers that they're going to be working out in the future, so bear that in mind. The ship also has a complement of missiles, so bear that in mind as well when it's when talking about its sort of like engagement range. What makes the Aries better against larger ships than, say, a Vanguard for DPS? The current damage system is purely based on numerical hit points. But with the introduction of physicalized damage and with physicalized components, larger weapons will have increased penetration. With this future addition, ship armor will essentially shrug off smaller rounds as they won't have enough kinetic energy to penetrate the armor. Whilst the Vanguard may have equal DPS on paper, weapons like size 2 nose guns may not be able to penetrate larger capital ship hulls, so bear that in mind. Penetration, the physical damage system, that's all going to be very important in the future, and everything has to be balanced for that, obviously, when they implement that. How many Aries would be needed to disable a capital ship? Can a single size 7 weapon do the job? Capital ships and their shields come in many shapes and sizes and types. Capital components are tailored to their ship due to the lack of modularity, so there's no standard capital sized shield to measure against. Both the 890 Jump and the Javelin are considered capital ships, but as you can imagine, they demand very different numbers to kill their shield emitters. Speaking in more general terms, the Aries will not be able to kill a capital ship alone, but it would be a good choice to bring in with your fleet when trying. Can the size 7 weapons be swapped off the Aries? No, they are part of the hull. They cannot be swapped between variants or with other size 7 weapons. In the preview video, the Aries was shown with 2 smaller cannons. Are there going to be variants of that in the future? The preview was just a placeholder, apparently, when the ship was being designed. How different is the Inferno's armor variant compared to the Ion variant? So the Inferno's armor will be significantly more effective and thicker in the short term before physicalized damage is introduced. This will come in the form of extra health, but once physicalized damage comes in, the armor will be thicker and tougher to get through. The Ion has relatively thin armor due to the other components taking up roughly equal amount of mass, equalizing the flight performance of the 2 variants. So that's interesting. Obviously, the Ion does have more shields, but less armor, but the armor is going to be like direct damage mitigation once it's passed through the shields. So that's going to be an interesting thing. How much ammo can the Inferno carry? The Inferno is supposed to be able to carry sort of 2 to 3 times the normal capacity of a ballistic weapon of that sort of size. Can you make the Inferno go or some sort of, rapid fire laser / ballistic Gatling gun sound? We'll do our best, said CIG. However, the RPM of the Inferno is less than that of an A10's main gun, so the Warthog. So it will feature a unique sound to Star Citizen, apparently. I'm very much looking forward to the Aries. It's a heavy fighter that doesn't have great agility, but it does have a great firing range and will be very effective against larger ships, as well as anything else that it can sort of hit. The Inferno is much better suited to smaller targets and combat against fighters, in my opinion, than the Ion is, but these ships are meant to work with other ships in a fleet for best effect, though I do expect that they will both be very viable options for soloing certain missions. These ships, or these types of ships, don't have huge operating distances, though, so these are intended to hop between planets and rest stops or be deployed from a carrier, like a Super Hornet is, like a Sabre is, that sort of stuff. They're not super long-range ships. The Vanguard, longer range. It's got a bed. It's got quarters that you can have a little sleepy times in. So bear that in mind. But I'm interested to know what you think. Will we get the Aries by the end of 2020? Are you going to be buying one in or out of game? Do you think the Aries is overpowered, or do you think its agility will cause medium dogfighters to be able to outpace it? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway for December, and to celebrate 2019, we are giving away a Carrack, the mighty explorer ship. It does also come with that Pisces and the Urza Rover 2. To be in for a chance of winning that, all you need to do is comment on any of my videos made during this month of December. Only one of your comments counts per video. Full details down below. A quick bit of shilling as well. Shadow provide remote access to high-spec gaming PCs as a subscription service, so you don't need to maintain your own gaming PC. You can leverage the power of your internet to turn your phone, tablet, laptop, or home PC into a monster. They are taking pre-orders for their new hardware configurations, scaling for 4K gaming, up to 32 gigs of RAM, and a GeForce Titan RTX, which I am very much looking forward to playing Star Citizen on. Links below, and use the code BoredGamer to get a discount. There is also an additional offer if you are in the US as well, that you get basically 50% off, and you can even use my BoredGamer code on top of that as well for additional discount. I also use NordVPN, which I've decided to continue to support, as they appear to have one of the best VPN services currently available at an affordable price. If you're looking for a VPN, consider them. Links below. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If you would like to share my video, comment, subscribe, like, all that sort of jazz, ring the bell, that all helps content creators. Also, if you want to further support the channel even more, there's Patreon, there's direct donation, there's the YouTube join button as well, which gives you access to some more sort of like exclusive content from me. Thank you very much for watching. You take care, and I'll see you in the verse.